So in this video, I'm going to share 7 e-commerce products that you can sell this year. These are some of our favorite products. We've studied these quite a bit. Look, there's going to be a lot of garbage products out there that people talk about. And I think these are ones that we have really spent some time on and thought about and realized that there's some potential opportunity on each one of these. So it's not going to be, generic, start a clothing brand, start a jewelry brand. A lot of those things are saturated, they're flooded. It's going to be tough to make money in, okay? So I'm going to leave some key pointers here for you throughout this video as well. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss more videos like this. This is totally free. Just trying to help people out with their e-commerce stores and hopefully kind of get the brain juice flowing and some ideas out there. I'm going to give you some very specific product ideas and then some overall pointers as well. So first of all, before we get into these 7, there's a couple things. We need to understand what constitutes a good product. All right, so things that are high margin, things that are reliable. We don't really like seasonal sales personally. Things that are reliable sales throughout the year. They have limited competition or some type of moat in some way so that you don't have 10,000 other people selling the same product. And then also products that provide cash flow. You don't want all your inventory tied up in like socks in your garage somewhere and your entire net worth is in like some type of like t-shirt or something and you have thousands of them in your garage. You don't want something like that, okay? So you need to constantly have cash flow and products moving all the time. That's a big pain point that a lot of people have. Okay, one other thing though I do need to mention here is that instead of just looking at like doing one product and selling one product and then just making a quick buck from it, you want to think in terms of the LTV or the lifetime value of a customer and building an entire brand around your e-commerce store rather than just like a one-off sale. And I'll explain that further on in the video, why that's really crucial when selling anything online. Okay, so the first product is finding something that has extreme viral potential on its own without you even having to run ads. And you can use something like user-generated content to boost these products. So a perfect example of this is inserts or shoes that make people taller. Now, why is this a great product? 2 things. One, because it has that viral potential, but also because it's a problem that tens of millions of Americans face, right? A lot of guys want to be taller, right? If you can get 2 or 3 inches taller through these inserts or through shoes that make you taller, this is probably going to be something that you're going to buy. And it in fact is, and it's a product that I think is going to continue to be super hot for at least the next few years. So look, there is competition on these, so it's not the absolute best product, but I think it is a great one to start with. And you can find suppliers on like Alibaba. We have a video, sharing like different suppliers that you can purchase on. And then also, if you are looking to set up a Shopify store, you can do that for $1 a month for the next like 3 months. We have a full free training down below in the description, helping you set up your Shopify store. There's a lot of like intricacies that you're going to want to be aware of, and you can learn all of that down below in the description through that absolutely free training. So trust me, this is totally free info. We don't have a course to sell you. Gonna say that like 10 times. But the free training is super helpful for a lot of people of getting those stores set up, especially when you can do it for $1 a month for the next 3 months. It's a pretty good deal. But having this viral potential for a product where basically if you do run ads on it, the ads perform super well, or you can just hire creators, give them $100 to make videos about it. And it's that type of product that it will go viral, right? It has the potential to go viral because it's very fascinating. It's very interesting. If you're trying to market like mouse traps, that's not a viral potential product, because how do you make a TikTok about that and make it go viral? You need to have something that has that potential there, okay? So the next product I want to share with you is something like a custom birthday book that has newspapers for each year on the day that you were born, okay? So this is a product that I actually bought for my dad a while ago, and after I bought it, I said, hey, you know what? This is actually a pretty great product, and let me explain why. So this is a product that probably their total cost, I'll just show you someone who sells it. It's on Uncommon Goods, and there are other sellers as well, but I think this could really be a great product because their total cost is probably, I'm going to say, anywhere from $10 to $20 in total production cost. So their margins are probably pretty solid. It's at least 50% margins is what I would guess on this product. Sure, they do have some shipping costs. But this is something that is really great. Now, there are some issues with it. I would say that this is not a product for absolute beginners because you have to get ones for 365 days in a year. And so that might be a little bit capital intensive for some people. But I think using this idea of birthdays in general can be very useful for selling for an e-commerce brand, okay? So this is one I like. Be careful with copyright things. I'm not sure where they stand on copyright issues with New York Times or any of these other newspapers, but you can see they do this with a lot of them, like the Seattle Times, and they do this with New York Times, Chicago Tribune, Washington Post, and there's a good chance that these are actually custom made as well if they have a printing press or something along those lines in their warehouse or wherever they are manufacturing these. So if you can make these like print on demand, this could be even more lucrative for you in the beginning. But it's one that I really like, and if I had the time, I would probably launch this product personally, and then just run ads on Instagram, on TikTok, and I do think even this has some viral potential when people are looking for birthday gifts for people. All right, number 3 is air purifiers, and the reason why I wanted to include this on the list here this year is because there have been some really bad wildfires in Canada, and all that smoke has come down into the Northeast. We've never gotten smoke like this before. I mean, I'll show you like a video here. I was walking around New York back in, I think this was June, and literally couldn't breathe. The particles in the air, it was crazy. The sky was orange, and I immediately went online and I looked up air purifiers and I tried to buy one. A lot of them were sold out. And so if you can realize that, look, like there's a lot of wildfires. I don't want to get into like politics or anything here specifically, but this is something that people are searching for a lot now. And so if you have these ready to go, and then there are, there's bad air quality somewhere, there's smog somewhere, and you just target that city, you target that area with specific ads on air purifiers. So when they're scrolling through Instagram, looking at all of these, billows of smoke going up, and then realize, hey, you know what, I could use an air purifier. My brother has one at his house, and he said his air quality was great inside his house during these fires, and the smoke was really bad outside, and he was breathing nice fresh air inside. So this is something that would really work well when you target on those specific days in those specific areas. It seems like there's always a wildfire going on somewhere in the US, and so you can always target different areas for that. Okay, the next product that I think is interesting is actually targeting more of like a larger demographic of certain groups of people. So a great one here is anyone who's interested in military kind of prepper gear. And so this is one that we have a store in this specific field. So I'm not going to go too into detail on exactly what we are selling, because that would just why would I blast that out into the world? But I can tell you that we have a store that's focused on this area. And this could be anything like night vision goggles or flamethrowers for agricultural purposes, okay? Like actually for ag purposes. So I'm not telling you to go out and make flamethrowers, but there's ones that sell for $600 online, and people do use these for ag purposes, like for controlling weeds and stuff. But my point here, like, look, don't go out and sell something illegal. Do not do that, okay? Make that very clear. But there's a lot of things that, people in that category of like the preppers or people who, enjoy kind of, like home defense and they want to be prepared for certain things. There's a big market in that. That's what I'm saying there. There's a big market in that. Night vision goggles, I think those would be pretty cool. I would buy some night vision goggles. And, if they were marketed to me properly, I would probably get them. And I saw some TikToks on this actually specifically of people marketing their night vision goggles. They were pretty expensive, but I really almost bought them because I just thought that'd be cool. I don't know what I would use them for. It'd just be cool to walk around in the woods and just, see what's going on and have a pair. So yeah, that is a field that I think has a lot of potential there. Now, let me share another one here, a product idea that can really, really be valuable, and that is any type of product for babies. I don't mean like babies are whipping out their credit card. I'm talking about parents when they are having kids, and there's a lot of data you can actually pull to see kind of like you can tell when someone is about to have a kid or just had a kid based on their search history, based on all these other things that a lot of platforms like Facebook and Google will actually give you access to and be able to market towards them. But you got to realize that, look, like if someone is about to have a kid and they're laying in bed and they're like going to have a kid next month or 2 months from now, they want the best thing for that kid, right? And so if there's a product that you can actually help them out and serve their needs and maybe, ensure that the baby stays very healthy, or maybe, you can help them to teach their kids how to read and write at a very early age, then that is a product that, parents are willing to pull out money and spend money on their kids. That's a very obvious thing, but it's one that I think there's a lot of potential. There's whole stores around this. Babies R Us is a massive store, and they're very profitable. So targeting, I don't want like shouldn't say the word babies, but just using that demographic of parents, new parents, maybe they're on paternity leave, they're on maternity leave, they're at home, they're on their computer, they're on their phone, and they're sitting there with their baby. They have a lot of downtime, and they're ready to spend money, okay? So that's a great opportunity there to build an entire brand, an entire store around that. It is important, we believe, to build a store around something so that you're not just doing like these one-off products. Because if you're doing a one-off product, that's great to have proof of concept, but it's kind of just like a quick cash grab, and we would rather build a full ecosystem and store around something so that you can maybe potentially sell that entity in the future. All right, and then another product is something like a portable sauna that is somewhat affordable. So saunas have been super hot in the past, I would say 18 months or so, and I think they're only going to become more popular in the United States. If you look at the percentage of people who are using saunas in the US, it's very low, and I think it's going to climb. I know I just learned about saunas like 6 months ago, and I love them, and I'm going to buy one or build one within the next year. So the problem here is that saunas are pretty expensive. If you want to buy one, like a real nice one, it's going to be $5,000 or $10,000. Most people can't afford that, and so you can offer a solution that creates affordable saunas for people. So here's just a couple of product ideas on this specifically. Like there's ones that literally look like tents that you can sell for a couple $100s, or there's ones that are a little bit more legit that you can probably sell closer to $1,000, make some decent margins on that. You can source them from various different manufacturers, and I think there's a whole business in this specifically on the sauna business. And then in terms of marketing, you just focus on the influencers who talk about health and productivity in all those different areas. Like Andrew Huberman is probably like the pinnacle. Like he is the guy for saunas and for talking about those things. But kind of like the Joe Rogan, Andrew Huberman crowd who are kind of interested in health hacking and doing all these things, this could be a really interesting one to market against those followers specifically. And I have a feeling that you would be able to make something like this succeed. Now, remember that there is a lot going into this, right? So if you try to launch a sauna business after watching this video and it fails, I'm sorry, okay? I can't guarantee that you're going to succeed with this. There's a lot of factors that it's really going to depend on a case-by-case basis, okay? But I hope some of these product ideas are helpful to you. We have full videos helping you out with marketing. We have videos on where to find suppliers. We have videos on how to build Shopify stores. We have everything on this channel for you to build and scale your e-commerce business. So make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss more videos like this. And go check out that it's over an hour long free training showing you how to set up your Shopify store and get started. It's only $1 a month for the first 3 months. It's a pretty great deal. I'll leave a link to that down below in the description. So I hope this was helpful for you. If you have any questions, feel free to send me a DM on Instagram or even on Twitter. I'll try to get back to you as quickly as possible, and I'll see everybody sometime in the future.